Hello.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Carol. Well,
Hi,
welcome.
Becky.
We are able to get on here live again, but we're just doing it through a little different platform. But we are on, and oh my goodness. Okay, you guys, I told you, is she not so cute? Oh my gosh. We were talking a little bit earlier, and we have determined that she is a dolphin and I am an otter. So one thing that we do know how to do is have a lot of fun.
We do.
You know how you meet someone and you're like, I just met you and I love you already? Well, this is me and Carol Ann. I just feel like we're just kindred hearts,
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
I absolutely love her already. But her story, where she is today, this vibrant, beautiful, inside and out, glowing woman, was not like this but a few short months ago. And she has a story. And Carol Ann, I'm going to ask that you just launch right in. Talk to us. What was life like for you? Not just even one short year ago, actually even a few months ago. But start with us where this debilitating bathroom prison started in your life now some 40 years ago. Talk to us and let's move through this and let's tell this story. And if any of you watching today, if you know someone that is suffering or has suffered with this debilitating Crohn's disease, get them on this live video watching now. And if you know Carol Ann, you know that this is a new woman. So Carol Ann, take it away. Please tell us your story.
Hi, everybody. I'm so happy to be here. And thank you so much, Becky, for inviting me. My story, as Becky mentioned, started 40 years ago. It's hard to believe. At the age of 22, I had finished university, had my teacher's degree, and had just gotten married and was diagnosed with Crohn's, which is an inflammatory bowel disease. There's that word, inflammation. Keep that in mind. So started off, and I know what I'm talking about. And a reaction to everyone. My doctors were a little bit afraid to try anything on me because they knew something was probably going to happen. During that whole time, you keep yourself going. You have 3 children. You're a single parent. And there's no time for saying, I'm just going to take some time out here, kids. And, that wasn't a possibility. I stayed in teaching as long as I could, but as the Crohn's progressed, of course, there's no opportunity to leave the classroom to go use the washroom. So that became something that I wasn't able to pursue any longer. From that point on, I started to make my own jobs I could do from home, or with a very limited amount of time outside of the home. I did happen to learn where every single clean washroom is within a 50-mile radius of the house, if that gives you an idea how tricky it was. So, 3 kids, different small jobs that I was able to work around the Crohn's with. It still progressed, the inflammation getting worse, more frequent, operations, approximately 1 every 10 years. In between that, my body was actually screaming at me to please stop giving me all these medications and drugs to deal with. I'm not having anything to do with it, and it's not working. It took 40 years for me to hear that. But at the age of 60, just prior to getting to a point where I had to look at something, I had a reaction to a drug that left me with a racing heart syndrome. So if any of you are familiar with that, there are a couple of ways to stop it. One choice is to stop the heart and then restart it again. That was my wake-up call. At 60, that really was the big one. And I decided no more chemicals going in. They weren't working, had never worked. And now I'm listening to my body.
And you had, Carol, were telling me of, as having Crohn's disease is your stomach was distended, you're inflamed, and then you'd said that this inflammation had filled your whole body.
Yeah, and the thing is, it changed a little bit later on. It was, my stomach got to be very similar. You would probably guess 7 months pregnant, maybe, and very uncomfortable. The amount of pressure on the internal organs, etc., the lungs, the whole thing. Yeah, very, very uncomfortable. But the inflammation then went in other directions. Arthritis type inflammation in the joints, in the feet, getting up in the morning, hitting that floor and just feeling like your legs are going to let go underneath you because the heel pain you're experiencing.
What was that? Was that plantars?
Yeah, plantar fasciitis. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can't walk, and I couldn't really eat because my body said no to food. It just said, I'm too sick. I can't deal with that. No drugs. Yeah, it left me at a point saying, okay, I'm 60. Is this what it's going to be like? I've done this 40 years. Is this what the next 20, 30 years are going to look like for me? And I refuse to let it take any more time away. Precious time with my children and with family. This disease affects your life on every level. Mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. It just leaves you socially isolated, and it really isn't much of a life at all.
Now, Carol, talk to me because I remember you telling me that that the doctors, you went to a doctor and said, is there anything natural that you can do about this? I mean, you asked that question, so you are listening to your body. The concoctions that the doctors for 40 years had been giving you concoctions. You were living pretty much on a liquid diet, trying to just hope that that liquid would give you enough nutrients. The concoctions weren't working for you, and so you went and you asked the doctor, so is there anything natural? Tell your friends, tell these people what the doctor said to you.
I didn't even remember this conversation until just a few days ago, and I haven't. He's a specialist, gastroenterologist, I believe it's a term. I might not be saying that right, but I had been seeing him. He's a wonderful person, and he knows my reactions with medication. He knows some of the side effects I have were horrendous. And so we were both very hesitant about putting anything else into my body. And I asked him, I said specifically, is there anything natural that's on the table now that we're looking at that might become available? Because the one time I found things worked for me was when I had gone to a naturopath, and that had worked, but for other financial reasons, I wasn't able to continue with that. What he said to me was, they are currently looking at something very interesting. It's all plant-based, but it's in its infancy. And I said, so how old does it have to be before we get to see it? And he said, by the time it gets to you as a patient, you're looking at probably 15 years. And if you do the math, I'm like, okay, that's really not going to do anything for me.
Amazing.
So, yeah. And, they're looking at it, but it's not there. It takes a long time. Mm-hmm. So in the meantime, I decide to start working on what I can. getting my brain turned around, changing the perspective, how I was looking at things, trying to get some exercise in, building up slowly, making my own foods, mostly soups, that sort of stuff, putting as much herbs, spices. I read so much information on everything, but just could never find the right balance. And the supplements at the drugstore, I had to take so many of them for it to work that it was just like taking half a bottle a day. And, you know, that wasn't working for me either. So eventually, with mindset changed a little, started walking, got to about half a mile, 500 meters. 15 minutes was the max I could manage. But I'm happy to say today, I have been walking 5 kilometers a day. Oh, yeah. 1 hour. Let's go. And I'm out every day. I am filled with so much energy. I have, and this is a game changer for me, I have a zest for life. I got it back.
Yeah.
I came out of the bathroom.
Yeah.
And let's talk about that.
So talk to us now. Where, you know, from going from, you spent 8 to 10 times a day in that closet.
Oh yeah. Oh
now,
yeah.
What's going on? Talk to us now. Talk to us. We have said the word. We said it when we talked.
Okay, we said the word, people. We're going to be talking about poop. Yes, that's right. You heard it right here. It's poop. And it says so much about your health. How often you're going, how it looks, if you're in pain, etc. You know what I'm talking about if you have any kinds of inflammation in your digestive disorder or in a digestive system, sorry. So, yeah, I used to live in 2 rooms in my house. The one has a couch and the other one is the bathroom down the hall. And that was where my life was. If my kids couldn't find me, well, I only was in 2 places. But having said that, I started with the Nrf2 activation after I saw something on a friend's Facebook page, and I said, "What's that?" And she got me in contact with Anna, and with Anna providing me with the information. And just let me remind you, I'm an educator, so I read a lot. I check things out a lot. I have to know before I would ever come in on here and say anything that my information is right. Okay? So I checked it all out. And I got the proof when I started taking the probiotic. My trips into the smaller room, the washroom, went from 8 times a day to once. Wow. I know.
You get to say bathroom. I am breaking up with you.
I am so broken up with you. Absolutely. I just, I can't explain what it's like just to get up and have breakfast, actually eat before you go out the door, because prior to that, you wouldn't do it, because that meant what you put in your body had to come back out, and there was no warning a lot of times. So this kept you socially cut off from everyone. So I get up, eat my breakfast, head out for my day, do my hour-long walk. I have hobbies, crafts. I'm like a social butterfly. I can't stay in my house. And I can't say enough about this and what it has done for me. But those probiotics, they work. And I take 2 a day. 2. I've been on them before, and I've had to take 8 to get the same effect. There is a scientific reason for that. And if you want to know more, you can message me, and I'll tell you anything you want to know. I have there's no words not in my vocabulary about bathrooms, Crohn's, intestinal tracts, or anything else. I'd love to tell anyone who wants to listen. So yeah.
And now you have also been Nrf2 activated, and as a result of the other products that you're on, Nrf1, Nrf2 activated, what's going on with your body, your inflammation, that 7-month prego body and the feet?
Well, let me tell you, 2 weeks ago, a gentleman asked me if why I was standing in the seniors discount side, and I said, well, I think I'm allowed to be here. And he said, you can't be more than 52. That's 10 years younger. And I'm like, I think you're right. And I literally went over and stood in the other line.
That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So I'm on it all. I'm using the Skin Science line. I'm doing the Axial drink. My head is clear. Yeah, look at this, folks. I mean, really, this is the best I've looked in so long. And I am loving it. Along with the age of 60 comes a lot of freedoms in life.
Now,
and
before we close, we're going to wrap this up here because we promised that we try to keep less than 20 minutes. So you have decided, because you told me, I have a mission.
Yeah.
You're not just taking this product. You have a mission. And sign off with that. Talk to your friends. Talk to the people about what you have. Mm-hmm. You have to. You have a moral obligation to share.
I do. As an educator, but also just as a human being. How can I keep this information to myself? It's not just a purpose. It became more than that. I was speaking in a 3-way conversation with Anna and a lovely lady who suffers from Crohn's. And 3/4 of the way through the conversation, my heart was breaking for her. I could feel the tears rolling down my face. And that was the moment when I said, okay, I've got to do this. I'm coming out of retirement. I don't have to do it for any other reason except that it is a have to thing. I can't keep this to myself. How selfish would that be? How selfish would that be? So I'm here. I am willing to talk. I'm willing to listen. I am so excited to spread this word. I would invite anybody to get in touch with me about this at all. Yeah.
Amazing. Well, Carol Ann, you are such an inspiration to me, to my heart. I'm proud to have you as a team member in my team and to link arms with you and with Anna and many others that are out there. And the invitation is here for all those that are out that know and love Carol Ann and that want to hear more about this, not only life-changing products, mission, but also an opportunity. What else would be so beautiful that it would draw somebody right out of retirement to say, I've got to do this. And Carol Ann, thank you for sharing your heart and your story. And if someone has shared this video with you, whoever you might be out there, that they loved you, they wanted you to hear this story, you get back with them. And if you know Carol Ann, you be sure and you get back with Carol Ann and she'll tell you more about the story and give you more science details. She is an educator. So she's done her research and now she's got both the body, her own proof, her own story, and she would love to help you start your story as well. Carol Ann, thank you. All of our
thank you so much, Becky.
And we'll talk with you again. Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone.